Hello and welcome back to a Squirrel Plays. It's a brand new year, and to start the whole thing off, we're going to have a look at the solo rules for Tricube Tales. Because let's face it, aligning schedules with friends is the real BBEG of tabletop, right? Also, who needs friends? All you need is a good idea and some dice, right? Well, honestly, that's really about all you need to make this work. It's pretty simple stuff, just like the main game. And speaking of, since I just did a video about that, I won't be covering the base game rules, but if you're unfamiliar with Tricube Tables, and that did it already. But if you're unfamiliar with Tricube Tales and haven't watched that video yet, let me give you a quick example of a character just to show you how simple things are. This is what a character looks like in this game. You have an archetype that can be either agile, brawny, or crafty, which determines what you're good at when it comes time to roll. You get to pick a perk, which is anything you want, and you get to pick a quirk, which is also anything you want. That's it. That's all there is to character creation. You also get 3 HP and 3 karma points. Really, that's all it takes. There's no stats, scores, and modifiers or anything like that. Whenever you're trying to perform an action, the difficulty is either 4, 5, or 6, and you will roll d6s according to your character. If it's something that utilizes your perk and archetype, you roll 3d6. If it's something your character can handle normally, it's 2d6, and if it's something that goes against your character and makes them struggle, it's 1d6. Now, obviously, there's a little more to the game than that, but that's the basic concept of Tricube Tales. And that's it for the video. Thanks for coming by, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, I wish making videos was that easy. But you know what is easy? Clicking that subscribe button. Oh! Got him. Alright, so small disclaimer here. Before I tried this thing out, I had zero solo ttrpg experience. It's something that has interested me for a very long time now, but every time I looked into it, I got a little bit overwhelmed. The videos about it were typically very long, and books were very much not small. Take the Mythic Game Master Emulator, for example. Not only is the title long, the book itself is over 200 pages long, and yes, there are a lot of charts and tables in there, but still, it's intimidating for this little squirrel. That said, this absolute Chad over here in the Squirrel Discord did show me a bit of how this works a while back. He fired up a module for it in Foundry Virtual Tabletop and rolled up a scene right in front of me in no time at all, and it was pretty friggin' cool, man. I was impressed. So while I would like to learn how to use this thing, it'd be awfully nice if I could start off on something a little bit simpler, something a bit more manageable. Thus enters the scene Tricube Tales SOLO. Like most of the goodies from Zadmar Games, the PDF for the rules is free. However, if you want the accompanying cards, you do have to spend a few bucks. Although a regular deck will also work, it just won't look anywhere near as cool. And as you scroll through the PDF, you will spot several roll tables. What's neat, though, is each page is for a specific setting. You have wilderness, dungeon crawls, distant voyages, crimes, mysteries, and everybody's greatest fear, social interactions. What? There's also one for planes and planets. So if you look at this little table right here, we could roll up a new plane in no time. For example, the first statement here is the dimension is best described as, and if I roll a 2, that means hellish and infernal, which takes the form of a distortion of reality and contains dangers such as weird physics. And just like that, we rolled up a Bethesda game.
And one of the great things about having a fully dynamic game engine is all of this just works. It's not, I'm not kidding.
But roll tables are a dime a dozen, right? They're all over the place, and a quick Google search can get you plenty more. Well, yes, while that's true to an extent, I would also add that some tables are certainly worth more than others. There's also a little more to this than just a handful of pages of roll tables. There's actually some structure to it, if you can believe it, in this dice-filled hobby. While it isn't required, the rules do state that they are designed to complement the Tricube Tales one-page settings, which is fine because those are pretty cool anyway. And I tell you what, let's use this one as an example for the most obvious reason.
Rock and stone!
Actually, I did ask Zadmar if this one was inspired by Deep Rock Galactic, and he said no, and that made me very, very, very sad. But anyway, the solo rules say to write down the main plot for your adventure using the settings adventure generator. So we'll just roll that up real quick, and I got a 2, which is eliminate a threat, and a 3 in a distant passageway, and another 3 while dealing with a serious injury. Then we're supposed to write down 2 subplots, and we use the twist table for inspiration.
Mushroom! 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 Mushroom!
I like rolling dice, so that's what I'm going to do. I rolled a 5 and a 4 while writing this, which got me the torch symbol, and then a 3 and a 1, which gets me the saw blade. So how do I smash all this together? Well, with barely putting any thought to it and just going with what comes to my mind first, I was sent down underground to kill a super nasty bug. But I acquired an injury somewhere along the way. The bug ended up being way more than originally bargained for, and I'm currently limping my way through dark tunnels, waiting for the extraction team to cut their way through the rock to get me out. And my light sources are fading. Meanwhile, I can hear the giant bug tunneling through the distant passageways coming for me. I have now become the hunted. Not too bad, right? Just made it up on the spot with a few rolls. Now, obviously, there's no right or wrong way to translate your rolls. They're for inspiration, so wherever they may take you, let them. Now that we have a bit of a plot going on, what's next? Well, we get a couple tricks here for handling different types of questions, but what I want to point out is the card system. The rules say an adventure consists of 5 to 9 scenes, and these are tracked with the cards. For each scene, you draw 1 card. So when I drew a card for my opening scene, I got the 5 of spades, which involves an easy brawny challenge. Of course it's easy, I'm a dwarf for Pete's sake. Rock and stone, brother! Alright, anyway, that brawny challenge could be me trying to hoist myself up a ledge with my wound hindering me. If I pass, I get up and farther away from the bug. If I fail, I fall down and the bug catches up, and now I have to do something to keep it at bay. Or maybe I found an old tool in the ground that could really help me out and I have to yank it out from the rock. Or maybe I'm already face to face with said bug and I can do something to knock it back or block its path. You get the idea. Once you accomplish that task and determine that it's time to progress to a new scene, you draw a new card. You also have this handy dandy concept over here for determining the victory of your adventure. Depending on the cards you've drawn and collected, your final scene may or may not have an epic twist to it. Also, while you may have won the adventure, it might have only been a partial success, meaning there was a cost to it. All of this depends on the types of cards that you draw throughout your adventure. Very, very, very cool stuff. And that's the general idea. The rules have lots of wonderful tidbits of information, such as reminders that the adventure is entirely up to you, not to feel obligated to do exactly what a role comes up with, and to remember to do what feels best for the story at hand. All around good stuff, and it's got the squirrel stamp of approval. I was going to go over the entire adventure I had, combining the Tricube Tales SOLO rules with my own squirrely system I've been working on, but I think I'll save that for another time. Maybe the next video, we'll see. If I added it all to this one, it would make this one entirely too long. So with that said, let's move on to a shoutout. Today's shoutout goes to Cave. That's what I'll call him, Mr. Cave. Because I don't know how to pronounce his name, and I'm not going to be insulting by attempting. And the timing on this shout-out is actually really great, because Mr. Cave here has a channel primarily focused on solo play TTRPGs. It's very neat stuff, but you will notice his content is in 2 different languages, one of them being English, which is impressive considering I can barely speak one. So if solo TTRPGs are your jam, make sure to buzz on over there and check them out. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Next time you're griping about how hard it is to find both the time and schedule alignments with others to play a TTRPG with, remember there's always the solo option. I've been having fun playing around with it because who needs friends? I need friends. Please hit that like and subscribe.